Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us yet again on this very, well, I don't know what the weather's like with you, but here in Lincoln, it's freezing and I'm contemplating putting the heating on, but then thought, if we're all going to do this through the medium of contemporary dance, then maybe I won't need to put my heating on because we'll all get warm. It's my absolute pleasure to be able to invite you all again to share a lunch, learn and celebrate with us, and how impactful they have been for us as a community, a family of families in relation to learning disability nursing across the whole of the world in these last few weeks. It is going to be an amazing celebration today. In some of the chat, I've talked very briefly about Strictly No Labels. For those of you who don't know what Strictly No Labels is, myself and Justine Barksby, who at the time worked with us at the University of Nottingham, she now works for De Montfort University, came up with this wild madcap idea during when we were doing positive choices at Nottingham some 3 years ago now, that we would run a dance competition. And the dance competition was called Strictly No Labels. So we invited the University of Wolverhampton to partner up with us. And we had students we had 6 students from Nottingham and 6 students from Wolverhampton, all who partnered up with a person who had dance experience and a learning disability. The students had no dance experience, and we ran, as per Strictly, a dance competition. We were supported by Anna Kennedy, who had been one of the People's Champions from Strictly, and a man whose surname I am now going to forget, called Robin, who had been Anna's partner, professional partner, during her Strictly experience. And it was amazing. In relation to Dance Syndrome, obviously I've known that Dance Syndrome are around and an amazing group of individuals. The first time I had opportunity to really interact on a personal level was when we did the celebration event at the House of Lords 2 years ago now. 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 3 years ago. Well, I keep forgetting that last year happened, really. And it was amazing to watch the dance and to watch Natty join in with the dance, and for the rest of us all to be sat there fanning ourselves so hot. You were there, Steve. You were there, Joanne Kiernan, as well. We were just so hot that you danced so amazingly well and professionally and poetically, if that's the best word I can think to use. So I'm really looking forward to today, not just to learn about how your dance experience has developed, but how you've managed to maintain your connections with each other and your connections with dance during COVID. And then, Marsh, you and I have not met before, but Steve talks so glowingly about Lewisham speaking up that we were so desperate for you to be able to talk to us as well, to just, I know I have joked and said I'm expecting jazz hands and something maybe from Chicago, maybe that, prison scene or the jail scene from Chicago we could do, or a bit of all that jazz. Or Hey Big Spender, but maybe Steve and I'll work on that for our next TikTok experience. So without further ado, I'm going to keep quiet now, which most of you know that's very difficult for me. And I'm going to hand you over to Sue and we'll see where we get on. So have a lovely afternoon, everybody. And thank you so much for being here.
Oh, and thank you, Helen, for a lovely introduction. And thank you to everyone who is joining this webinar. So absolutely delighted you're here and that we're here. So this is an opportunity for you to experience something of Dance Syndrome close up and personal, and there is a clue in the name, there will be dancing. But in the first instance, I'm hoping that this is a webinar you will never, ever forget. It should be different to every other one. So I'm going to hand straight over to Jen and Donna.
Thank you very much, everybody. Let's get Jen a little seat.
So
there.
Hi, and thank you. That was absolutely beautiful. So can I just check, can you hear me? Yes, thank you. That was absolutely gorgeous. And it's almost impossible to follow you guys. You're just such a class act these days. But this is how Jen lives, and this is what caring looks like in Jen's life. This is why everybody thrives. When you have a carer who is a professional dancer, you're in a pretty good place if your name is Jen. So thank you to both of you. It's absolutely beautiful. So Jen is the reason that Dance Syndrome exists, but Dance Syndrome enables Jen to be Jen. So you've got an absolutely perfect circle, and the ripples are growing. With every day that passes, the ripples are growing from that circle. More people are impacted, more lives are enhanced. And in my heart of hearts, I hope that more people with learning disabilities will live fulfilled lives. So I am so excited by the opportunities that are presenting. I'm excited for the dancers. They love being in demand. There's nothing better. It's an absolutely heady experience, and particularly so when you have a learning disability. Most people experience something more like being marginalized and being put out of sight and out of mind, not being in demand for national stages. And that's what's happening for the dancers of Dance Syndrome. But I am also excited to be speaking with you, the students who are studying learning disability nursing at universities up and down the length and the breadth of the country, to be able to speak to you, to share with you the excitement and the energy which is Dance Syndrome, and to be able to impact you before you go out into the world and you start to develop your careers and become the people that you can become, enhance the lives that you can enhance, to take away the Dance Syndrome message where everybody can be a leader, can be their own person, can be enabled if given appropriate support. And I am thrilled that Jen's passion is reaching into further and further depths, into health, into social care, into education, into disability, into art. It is far reaching, and the enormity of the positive outcomes is huge and impactful on people's lives. And I'm delighted for Jen as an individual. It's wonderful to see her embraced with meaningful friendships in her life. A person who, up until 28, had never experienced friendship. She had acquaintances galore. She had a list as long as your arm of acquaintances who she assumed were friends because she'd never experienced friendship. But from the day that Dance Syndrome was coined, friendship came into Jen's life through the vehicle of dance. And dance is the language of communication. So I feel as though I am the luckiest person alive. I have had the greatest of teachers for almost 40 years now. It sounds like a fairy tale. It is a fairy tale to all intents and purposes, but it's real. And this can be replicated for other people with a learning disability. They too can live lives worth living. So Jen grew up in a mainstream environment. She had a mainstream childhood. She went to mainstream education, and she left school with mainstream aspirations. She wanted to be a community dance leader. So we went looking for her opportunities, for her to be able to share her passion. She has always been so focused and determined. She wants to get the world dancing. She doesn't care who you are. You can be tall, you can be small, you can be any age, you can be any ethnicity. It doesn't matter who you are. She just wants to get you dancing and sharing that passion, sharing the fun. She wanted to be that leader. She wanted to devise and to perform. And as far as Jen is concerned, the bigger the stage, the better. She wanted upbeat tempos. She wants hip hop. She wants street dance. She wants Zumba. She wants lively, energetic, engaging stuff, as well as the aesthetic and the beautiful, which you've just witnessed, which she also loves and does, in my eyes, so beautifully. So there is a woeful lack of opportunity for people like Jen to be able to train in dance. And that is the reason Dance Syndrome came about. age 28, in spite of our 10 years of searching for those dance training opportunities, we were still empty-handed. Jen still had nowhere to train, which could meet her needs and give her the accessibility that she needed, the support that she needed to be able to become that leader. She was becoming increasingly social isolated. She spent huge amounts of time sitting in her bedroom by herself, feeling very lonely, very sorry, very, very ignored by society, which is probably not so different to the lives of a great many people with a learning disability. So Dance syndrome came about. And with that, all of a sudden, Jen was in control of her life. She could choose the dancers she wanted to work with. She obviously had support. We all need support in our lives. But Jen was now in control. She was starting to live the life of her choosing. She was being recognized as a dancer, not as a learning disability. And that's key. So within Dance syndrome, there is an absolutely strong, powerful ethos that it is underwritten by co-production, by equality, and by inclusion. But you will witness that rather than me try to unpick any of that as we go on. So 12 years down the line, the dancing family is now thriving. It's extraordinary. And it's a place where every person is embraced. They are embraced, they are valued, they are wanted for the person that they are. We all come with warts and all. So everybody has those complexities within their makeup. And people in Dance syndrome are no different. None of us are perfect. No, we can all try. We all have personal assets and attributes, and they are all very, very different. I personally have 2 left feet, so where Jen's dance comes from is an absolute mystery to me. And we have an inclusive society. We have a society where every single person belongs, which is evidenced by the palpable energy, the positivity, and the enthusiasm that flows through every single person involved in Dance syndrome. So Jen has taught me so much. She has taught me not to accept no. That's not an okay answer. She has taught me not to necessarily trust the professionals, but rather to trust your gut instinct. She has taught me that she thrives in inclusive settings. She's not looking for an exclusive setting of any ilk. She's not looking for just a learning disabled setting. She's looking for a setting where all of society is embraced. And she has taught me that dance is absolute key to her happiness. And I would have been blind to not know that through all the years of growing up. But now, at almost 40, forgive me for sharing that, Jem, because nobody would ever believe it looking at you. She has taught me that unless she's dancing at least twice a day, that actually she's not dancing enough. So I feel that I live in this extraordinary utopia led by inspirational dancers. And those dancers may or may not have learning disabilities. They are all inspirational. I feel that my life is enhanced in ways I could never, ever have imagined that it would become. And with that, I'm handing straight back to Jen.
Oh, Mum, that was the most beautiful comment ever. So thank you. Thank you, ladies and gents. Dance syndrome is absolutely everything. It's my life. It's my world. It's absolutely everything that I live for day in, day out, with my support. It's just the most amazing life that I am leading through Dance syndrome, and through Dance syndrome is absolutely everything. So from the bottom of my heart of hearts, it's just the most, it's a dream come true for me and my dance leaders. So dance leaders, I love you guys, and yeah, to share our World for Dance Syndrome, share our passion, share the love for Dance Syndrome. It's just a fulfilling experience just to see me come out of my comfort zone. It's just amazing. So, oh, my heart. I am loving every minute of it, every moment. It's just, oh, I can't really say it. I'm absolutely speechless. But what I can say is this now. This wouldn't have happened without the support of my mum and dad, because without them, Down syndrome would it wouldn't have been me. So mum and I set Down syndrome up our own way. It's just a dream come true of my life. So thank you, mum and dad.
Lovely. Right, shall I take it from there? Yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
Over to Don.
Hi everybody. I'm Donna. I'm as Sue's mentioned before, I'm a professional dance artist for Dance Syndrome, and also I am the lead support for Jen on a day-to-day basis as well. Originally, though, it wasn't. This 5 years we've been doing this together, haven't we?
We have
As a
5
lead,
years.
yeah, 5 years. Wonderful years. Every day has been different. Yeah, we're very, 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 very. We work very hard together, don't we? Absolutely.
We do.
But what I want to say and to make a point of is the care side for Jen. For this to happen for Dance Syndrome to work, okay, it's which Sue hit on just earlier on, co-production. It's working together, okay, with others. Sue and Jen started Dance Syndrome and your dad, didn't it?
Yes.
Okay, didn't she? But also it's the support of the carers, the foundation that supports this, that will help it work. You've got to feel the needs. Jen has a lovely home because the foundations are there to help her. The foundations, we communicate with each other. Okay, parents, carers, we have a passion. We're very lucky that we have the same passion, aren't we, Jen?
Yes, we are, Donna, indeed.
Yeah, we do, and that's dance. And to find that is extraordinary. Okay, and we are very lucky that this is how we met, through dance, wasn't it? But we've led on. It's not just about the dance. For Jen, for this to work for Jen and Dance Syndrome, as I said, the foundations are there. So the communication, to be healthy as well, don't we? We look into all that, to make a happy home, healthy home, the road to go in. We have carers that are interested in what's happening, okay? And that is the basis of how Dance Syndrome and how Jen's life works. We work together, get that base, and it just grows and grows and grows, and that's where Dance Syndrome is now. And I'm honoured to be part of Dance Syndrome, and I'm honoured to be a part of Jen's life. Okay, I'm going to pass it back over now. I'll leave it there.
Beautiful, such lovely comments from everyone so far, so thank you for sharing that. So hello everybody, my name is Anna and I'm a dance artist for Dance Syndrome. In lockdown, we've taken our classes online and there have been some challenging moments, but overall it has been hugely rewarding for the dancers, the dance leaders, the dance artists and the charity. We're going to share with you some of our experiences from the past year. As a dance artist, it has been difficult as I work for a few other companies as well. Some work completely stopped some is on pause still, and some work increased. So for me, DanceSyndrome continuing their work online allowed me to continue to work. There have been challenging times. For example, at the very beginning, everyone had to learn how to use Zoom. Absolutely everyone. We had phone calls, FaceTimes, visits in gardens to make sure everyone had the opportunity to learn how to access the sessions. DanceSyndrome members have continued to learn this. We have had to continue to keep everyone up to date on the ever-changing updates, reminding people how to use the platforms and to ensure everyone is being safe online. DanceSyndrome did deliver lots of community classes in person, and we've continued these and even created new sessions and met lots of new people along the way. As a dance artist, it has been wonderful to deliver more and different classes online. DanceSyndrome have utilised technology and the online platforms within the past year. Yes, we have missed out on in-person classes, events and performance opportunities. However, we have been able to attend new and more frequent events. With people being at home, it does not include the travel time, so we can fit more events within a day if we wanted to. Obviously, capacity and time and availability comes into that, but if we wanted to have more classes on a day, that is more possible when people are at home, although space is lacking. Overall, providing more opportunities for the dance leaders. If you want to join any of our classes, please have a look at our website and social media. The links have already got in the chat, but I'll keep posting them every so often so that they are fresh if you're wanting to click. It'd be great if you could follow us on social media, but please, why not join some of our classes? We've got lots of dance classes on offer. We have got a week off this week, a well-deserved week off. Everyone has been busy for the whole year, but our classes resume on Monday, so sign up. There's different ways in that you can sign up. So some of the classes, like the technique classes, so for example, the street dance that was mentioned, if you sign up for the street dance, it is a performance class. So for 6 weeks, you work on a piece and then you perform it at the end. So that is for 6 weeks. However, there are classes that you can just sign up for one class, such as Awaken Dance, which is on a Monday, Wednesday and Friday morning. So please have a look at our website and hopefully we will see you at one of our dance classes very soon. We hope to see you there. So we're going to move on to one of our wonderful dance leaders, Becky. Becky, would you like to introduce yourself and take it away? There you are.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am Becky Rich, and I am age 30. And I am ambassador and spokesperson for DanceSyndrome charity. On the Zoom app, we have various DanceSyndrome dance classes every week from Monday to Friday. I teach on Thursday night rave dance class at 7 o'clock and finishes at 8 o'clock. I deliver musical jazz on Friday mornings at 11 o'clock and finishes at 12 o'clock. We have a YouTube channel and we have various dance classes on YouTube where everyone can join in. At the moment, the Zoom app is very important to us and to everyone right now. We have reached out to new people all over Great Britain, UK, and other new countries, Australia, America, and Germany. They are now connected to us. I really love to expand the DanceSyndrome Zoom app right through the Commonwealth countries. I love the word of collaboration. it is really important now, and being stronger together. That is important right now, and to collaborate all together. That is what I love. I love to share with you my message to you and my message to the whole world. My message is this: I am Becky Rich. I am age 30. I have got Down syndrome. And I am proud of who I am, and I am proud of it. I strongly believe in no discrimination and only acceptance, inclusion, love, joy, and happiness, and collaboration. Please join us in collaboration, and let's all work together. Thank you.
Fantastic. Lovely, Becky. That was fantastic to hear. So Becky is now going to lead us through a mass participation. So we are all going to join in with Becky's dancing, which she will introduce in a moment. But please, can we just ask, when you are joining in, make sure you have space to move. You can do this if you are sitting at a desk, for example. You can make adaptations as we go along, or you can get into your space and move along with us. So please join in with Becky. Becky, what song are we dancing to?
Yeah, we are now going to be dancing to 500 miles. And yeah, we're going to have fun with it. So yes, and now that I will show you to you the 500 miles.
Here we go. Everyone join in.
When I wake up, well, I know I'm gonna be the man who wakes up next to you. When I go out, yeah, I know I'm gonna be the man who goes along with you. If I get drunk, well, I know I'm gonna be the man who gets drunk next to you. And if I haver, yeah, I know I'm gonna be the man who's havering to you. But I would walk 500 miles and I would walk 500 more to be the man who walked 1,000 miles to fall down at your door. When I'm walking, yes, I know I'm gonna be the man who's working hard for you. And when the money comes in for the work I do, I'll pass almost every penny on to you. When I come home, oh, I know I'm gonna be the man who comes back home to you. And if I broke, well, I know I'm gonna be the man who's going over you. But I would walk 500 miles and I would walk 500 more just to be the man who walks 1,000 miles to fall down at your door. When I'm lonely, well, I know I'm gonna be the man who's lonely without you. And when I'm dreaming, well, I know I'm gonna dream about the time when I'm with you. When I go out, well, I know I'm gonna be the man who goes along with you. And when I come home, yes, I know I'm gonna be the man who comes back home with you. I'm gonna be the man who's coming home with you. But I would walk 500 miles and I would walk 500 more to be the man who walks 1,000 miles to fall down at your door.
Wow, I've nearly got enough breath to say well done.
Wonderful. Fantastic, Becky. Thank you very much for getting everyone moving and dancing. We hope you enjoyed joining along with us. Fantastic. I've just seen a message saying, feeling totally uplifted. Wonderful. That's just what we want to see. So now that we've done a bit of dancing, we're going to take a moment to just listen to the wise words from David Corr. David, would you like to unmute yourself and introduce yourself?
Hello, everyone. Yeah, my name is David Corr. I am part of DanceSyndrome Leaders. Okay.
Perfect. So what classes do you teach?
Me teaching will be Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for waking dance.
Nice, yeah. So you teach wake and dance. We have a rota. We have a rotating rota on the Everybody Dance session on a Tuesday and the YouTube as well. So all of the dance artists and dance leaders, we take it in turns to do different videos and different classes as well. So in your wake and dance sessions, Dave, can you explain to everyone what the creative part is?
The creative. Same on Monday till Friday, be like, be theme is royalty, and done that whole 3 days. Then they're really good fun.
Nice. So you'll have a theme like royalty, for example, and then how do you create the dance? What do you do?
Dance, I can do it like flip your screens to I can do this, write down, ooh, really good move. Okay, ooh, nice. Now pick that to add on to the dance routine for the theme. That's right.
Fab. So you get other people's ideas and you put them all together, mix them up and create a dance from that. And for 1 week, it might be royalty.
Yeah.
Nice, fab, wonderful, Dave.
All different things as well.
Different things as well. Yeah, you've done a mixture and you've been doing this for a whole year. So you've had lots and lots of different themes. So fabulous. So thinking back now to over a year ago, what was it like when you first started teaching classes on Zoom?
Just to say that. What is Zoom is, I don't know a clue, but I can teach on Zoom first. I know like meeting ID, passwords, stuff. Then it'll be 2 or 3 weeks to calm down. Then run smoothly. You can do your Zooms as well. Thank you.
So it was a bit panicky at first, wasn't it? It was like, we're going on Zoom. What do I need to do? How do I teach? Because we're used to teaching in person. We've never really done anything online. So it was really scary at first for everyone, figuring out how do we do it. And like you said, yes, all the different meeting IDs and passwords. But then, as you say, as we get on and we carried on and over a few weeks, we got used to it a bit more. So yeah, it got a bit easier, didn't it?
Yeah.
So what do you not like about teaching on Zoom?
Just I don't like is when someone like unmutes, when you are dancing and unmute again, it just get me annoying as well.
Yeah, so it can be quite distracting, can't it?
Call you just said. Just millions, and don't know why.
I like the action you're doing there. You can tell we're dancers. I like it. This is how I feel, when people say if they're meeting and there's a background noise and then you're going, oh, what's that and what's that? We know that everyone is at home and it is difficult. You might have a postman knocking at the door. You might have a washing machine and something else going on, this going on. Yeah, anything, just getting a drink, filling up a drink can make background noise, and that can be distracting at times. So yeah, it's finding that balance, isn't it, about unmuting and muting and all sorts, but fab. So do you do more teaching online or more teaching when we were in person?
Yeah, from myself, just like more teach beyond Zoom.
Yeah,
Yes.
definitely. And I think most people have maybe taught more on Zoom because we're maybe more available. Because I remember you telling me that if you were going to Preston and we had a class at Plungington Community Centre for 1 hour dance class, it might take you 4 hours out of your day to get there and back. Whereas at home, you can just log in when you're ready and it's that 1 hour and it's done. You have a bit of planning time, obviously, and a bit of time to chill out after. But yeah, the timings are all different, aren't they?
Yeah.
We also use WhatsApp for DS Collective, the performance group, to stay connected. How do you find that? Do you like that?
Yeah, to me, I really enjoyed that. And DS Collective, we are like friends and family too, as well. Yeah. And so somehow something connect to DanceSyndrome. It's just really posh and really gorgeous as well. Then yeah.
It's great to stay connected, isn't it? And we had that group before lockdown, but we use it a lot more now. We had little bits of groups before to stay connected and do performances, but we use that every day. Pretty much someone's posting in it, whether it's about a new class or someone's just telling us what they've got up to, which is a really lovely way to stay in contact. So Dave, finally, what is your favourite thing about DanceSyndrome having classes online?
From online, I teach. They're really nice. Then yeah, and DanceSyndrome, we are the best. Yes, and just have fun for a bunch of mates. Then yeah.
Nice.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome, Dave. Thank you for sharing all of those pieces of information. Really lovely. And yes, definitely, just having the opportunity to teach, I think, is one of the most favourite things, isn't it? Just teaching and staying connected with your friends and making new friends as well. So thank you very much, Dave, for sharing all of those bits of information. We're now going to head over to another dance leader. We're going to head over to Jodie. Jodie, you might just need to unmute before, but Jodie is going to talk to us about a few other things as well. Oh, my screen has changed. There we go. Jodie, would you like to introduce yourself? That's it. Hello.
We're ready?
Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody.
Can you do it? Can you do it? What's wrong? Is there a problem?
Is it not work? Are you all right, Jode?
We've got a bit of a problem here. Just hang on a second.
That's absolutely fine. Don't worry.
Jodie, let me switch it back on again now.
So Jodie's going to be talking to us about some of her experiences through joining in online, but also through teaching and things like that.
My name is Jodie Turner.
Is it working? I don't know what you're trying to tell me. Can I?
Jodie, is the connection working? Are you okay?
It's not quite working correctly, and I can't work out what.
Oh no.
Jodie, we heard you talker say to us hello and what your name was. So I think it is working. I think you just need to take a deep breath and go for it again.
Can we do it now? If I point to them.
I am the dance leader with DanceSyndrome. I have been a member of DanceSyndrome since 2014.
Next one.
I also dance with DS Collective, which is the performance group. I love this as we dance on stage, at conferences and other events. The best was performing at the Edinburgh Fringe Festival.
Oh, definitely. That was one of my favourites as well, going to the Edinburgh Fringe Festival. So, Jodie, do you like joining in on Zoom?
I like joining in with Zoom sessions. During lockdown, it has been the only way for me to see my dance friends.
Is it next one?
It has enabled us to carry on dancing and try new types of dance. My favorite is Rave with Dave and Bex. Once we had got to grips with the technology, it is easy to access, and I love it when I look out at the window and it is cold, wet and blowing a gale, yet I can still dance with my friends and don't have to go out.
Very true, very true. When me and Jodie and Anne were chatting the other day about this conference, Jodie was like, well, it's chucking it down outside and we don't have to go outside to join the dance class. I thought, actually, that yeah, we don't have to put on all of our layers and go outside. So fabulous. So what are the challenges about joining in on Zoom?
The downside of online is that it is only as good as the technology, so sometimes internet connections are bad, so screens freeze or sound is not clear. I found the computer screen too small, so we connect it to the television. I have to remember that the camera is on the computer and not to dance outside its view. Finding a space to dance can be an issue. I dance in our kitchen and have to move the table to do so. Mum always does a tidy up before I go on Zoom. DS has become very good at offering suggestions for dance in different spaces.
Definitely, yeah, fabulous. Lots of different challenges on Zoom that everyone has been working really hard to face and to support and try and move around the challenges. So I like that the screen was too small, so you connect it to your TV. We're making sure that we can still find those opportunities to join in the most comfortable way. So fantastic, Jodie. And what are your thoughts on teaching online?
There is a place for both online and face-to-face sessions. Zoom sessions have opened up DanceSyndrome nationally and internationally. People from all over the UK join in at sessions, and we have had people from Germany, New Zealand and America join us, which is amazing. Online has meant that delivering to conferences has been easier. No traveling and more dance leaders can attend. It has made us think of new ways of delivering workshops. For example, one of my YouTube favorites we call Funny Faces. Because I am non-full, sometimes I give instructions using body or wheelchair movements. On YouTube, I use face movements only, which works really well, but would not work in a big hall with a big group.
Fantastic. Yes, Jodie. So we've completely changed how we work sometimes. So me and Jodie co-deliver some sessions in person normally, and some of our things that we would do in a big hall would not work online. So we were figuring out, how can we make this work? So we decided funny faces, like Jodie was showing us there. So looking up, sticking out tongue, closing eyes to make other people do other movements. So something that we've used before is when Jodie closes her eyes, we have to crawl hall. So things like that on Zoom would work really well, but in a big hall, it might be quite difficult for people to see the slight changes in facial movements. So yeah, we've had to really adapt. Fantastic, Jodie. Is there anything else you want to say before we go on to the next thing? No? Happy, wonderful. Well, thank you very much, Jodie and Anne. So that is all of our wonderful bits of information that we wanted to share with you all from our experiences over the past year. I'm just going to hand over to Jen. Would you like to say something to finish us off? And then we'll go to Becky.
Yes, thank you to everyone for this amazing opportunity. Do follow us online at DanceSyndrome.co.uk. That is our website name. We're on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Feel free to follow us on there. So once again, thank you so much for listening, guys. It's been amazing. So thank you.
Wonderful, thank you, Jen. And Becky, can you tell people how they could get involved or donate?
Yeah, I would just like to say that thank you for listening to us today. If you are inspired by what we do, please support us by sharing your experience and directing your friends and family to our Dance Syndrome website. Before finishing, I am proud to tell you that I recently set up my own fundraising challenge for Dance Syndrome. I threw 1,000 punches in my boxing sessions for every day of Dance Syndrome Awareness Week and raised some money for Dance Syndrome. Please look at my Dance Syndrome Just Giving fundraising page. Also, please look at Vicky Boyd's Dance Syndrome Just Giving page and her amazing challenge, which starts on April the 12th. If you feel able to support us, you now know how well it will be used and how appreciated it will be. Please have a look at our Dance Syndrome Just Giving challenges. And thank you very much and enjoy your day.
Thank you very much, everyone. It's been lovely to meet you. As we've been saying, please contact us if you would like to find out more information or information on the classes. We've put our emails and contact details in the chat. So it'd be lovely to see you all very, very soon. But thank you so much. And thank you to all of the dance leaders, dance artists, board members who have joined us today for all of their wise words. So thank you all very much. And we'll hand back over to Steve and Helen. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Anna. I'm slightly exhausted, still recovering and thinking I perhaps should have had a wee before we started dancing, but hey, never mind. And that has been absolutely amazing. Thank you so much. And do you know, apart from, I still love your name, Amazing Dave, apart from all of the talent and the balletic ability and the dance and whatever, it's the smiles. I've not had so many smiles in my life for such a long time. And Jodie, I am going to take your words, and to every student nurse that whinges and whines at me about being taught online, I'm going to get them to listen to what you say about we're only as good as the technology. So thank you very much. Now, I'm going to hand over in a minute to Steve and Marsh. They're not really going to do it through the contemporary of jazz. Sorry. But you never know what they'll bring. So over to you two. Thank you, gentlemen.
Hi, everyone. I'd like to welcome Marsh who's our next speaker. He works at Lewisham Speaking Up. It's a wonderful organisation. They've done so many projects. I really like your Stop Hate campaign, and also when you met up with, I've forgotten his name, Ray James, CBE, and you was fighting for the health of people with learning disabilities. That's really great. Also, I noticed that Lloyd's here today. So Lloyd is a member. And also Lewisham Speaking Up and Peter Cronin, they contributed to a book we done. So thank you ever so much. And over to you, Marsh.
Thanks, Steve. I just want to say what a great presentation that was, and I'll ask everyone to lower their expectations for my bit, because it's not going to be as good. I have got some notes. I thought about doing a presentation, but decided nobody wants to see pictures of Zoom meetings. And the only other thing I want to say before I start is co-production is also key to what we do. And I was hoping to have one of our People's Parliament reps with me today, but they're not feeling too great. So unfortunately, you have to put up with me droning on. I'm going to have a look at some notes. So excuse me if I'm not always looking directly at the screen. So I am Marsh Stitchman. I'm the projects director for Lewisham Speaking Up, which is an advocacy charity. We've been around for about 16 years. I've been there for the last 5 years. And we started based in the principles of self-advocacy. So we are about people speaking up for themselves. And we work together to make sure people's voices are heard in Lewisham and beyond. And we're about campaigning. We're based on human rights. So I want to tell you a little bit about our journey over the last year or so. We'll take you way back to March 2020, when the world was looking like it was going to change and things were all a bit uncertain. I pressed for us to go online fairly quickly. Things were getting cancelled left, right and centre. We normally attend lots of meetings and campaign events and things like that. Everything was being cancelled. And our last meeting that we went to face was coincidentally on Friday the 13th of March. So it was a bit ominous. And then it all finished, the world changed. We had one advantage though, which was that we already knew what Zoom was. We'd already been using it to meet with self-advocacy groups in different parts of the country, because we work with Learning Disability England. Some of you, I'm sure, know. So we were slightly one step ahead, that we'd already been using Zoom, and we had an account, which was a rarity in those days. So we quickly closed our office, and there was a bit of disruption getting set up at home, but we decided we weren't going to furlough anybody, and we were going to try and deliver everything online as much as we could. So as the virus took hold, we started to move all of our projects online, our People's Parliament, our self-advocacy groups, our hate crime training that Steve mentioned, our one-to-one advocacy where we help people individually with problems. It wasn't perfect by any means, but it was working for some people. As a staff group, we used Microsoft Teams, but we were at a fork in the road, and we decided to go with Zoom because that seemed to be what people with learning disability were using. It was slightly easier to use. We tried, people have mentioned WhatsApp as well. We tried Facebook Live and different things. They didn't really work, so we went down the Zoom road. We still do use WhatsApp with individual people. And for some people, we use WhatsApp to send them Zoom links, which they can then join our meetings. So we messed around testing out Zoom with our staff with learning disabilities and our trustees with learning disabilities, with mixed results. Some people were great, got it very quickly. Some people struggled. And we did some of the stuff that Anna was talking about earlier, meeting people and having phone calls and going backwards and forwards, trying to get people to press the right buttons and so on. It was quite a challenge. We did our first online group in April, so fairly quickly we feel. It was a men's group with 3 people, so it wasn't great, but we picked up each time after that. Things got better and better. And we quickly realised that we needed to be doing this more often. We used to run a monthly speaking up group. We had men's and women's group that met every couple of weeks, but we quickly changed everything to meeting every week, because we realised as the weeks were going by that people were feeling really isolated, very confused, very cut off. So we did lots more weekly meetings, and that was combined with also phoning people and posting out a newsletter. There were many more people that were not online than were online, so we still needed to reach those people as well. All along we were meeting with other self-advocacy groups. Learning Disability England were very good at bringing people together, and we learned what other groups were doing. We were feeling connected in a way that we hadn't felt connected before, which was really one of the interesting benefits of the last year, is that we're now much more closely connected to self-advocacy groups in different parts of the country, all over the place, which has been a real good plus amongst all the doom. Something else I wanted to mention, which is a bit more hard to put into words, was particularly in those early days, being on Zoom made everyone feel very equal. There wasn't so much of the power differences you sometimes get when you meet with people or when you're doing a group. Everyone was in the same boat. Everyone was stuck at home. Everyone was feeling a bit odd, feeling a bit weird. Nobody knew quite how to work things. And I liked that. I think that was really good. It was a really powerful feeling, and something that we've tried to keep going in our groups. We carried on our campaigning online. We'd already planned a campaign called Right to Home, which was about the 1 year anniversary since the Panorama programme on Walton Hall, which uncovered some horrible abuse of people with learning disabilities. And we had to move that online, so we did a whole week's campaign online back in May 2020. That seems like a lifetime ago. And we're about to do another one this May, which will be for 10 years since Winterbourne View, which some of you will know about, which was also not a very pleasant programme to watch. And that's been 10 years now since that was on TV, and we're going to campaign on that. So by the time a couple of months into the pandemic, we were running up three regular weekly Zoom groups, and we had to learn about Zoom etiquette quickly, which people have spoken about today, how not to talk over each other, how to use the mute function carefully, because some people would be put on mute and couldn't get back off, and that was really frustrating for them and for us. So we try not to mute people unless we really have to, which means our groups are very noisy. They still are very noisy. They're very lively. They're very real, and I love them most of the time. They can be a bit hectic, but they're very real ways of people expressing themselves. But we realised that lots of people still couldn't join. Digital exclusion, to use a jargon term, was becoming really obvious. We did have people who were joining our groups that we'd never seen before, which was a plus, but we knew there were lots of people out there who couldn't get online. So we ran some events to find out why. One of the ironies of that was we could only do it online. So we only heard from the people that could work Zoom and things like that. We tried to do a paper questionnaire, but we didn't get many responses back. But we worked out that it wasn't just about having a computer or a laptop. That was one thing, having the right device, but also knowing how to use it or having somebody to support you to use it. A lot of the people we work with live on their own, or they get very little support. So that was a challenge. And then the big one is actually having enough internet connection, having the data to join a video call. A Zoom video call can use up your phone plan of data in an hour, and it's gone. So that was a big problem for people. We did work with other people to look into this. So we worked with the Foundation for People with Learning Disabilities to do an early survey on digital exclusion and why people weren't connected. but we pressed on, and by July we'd run our first People's Parliament online with Lewisham College, and we've kept on doing that right the way through. We've done quite a few events talking about using technology, talking about changes to hate crime laws, people's rights to healthcare. We did one recently on the council cuts in Lewisham, which is looking a bit grim and very important for people to have their say on. And our People's Parliament representatives have got used to Zoom meetings, some better than others, but we've met with NHS England. Steve mentioned Ray James that we met with. We've met with councillors, with MPs. We've been involved in lots of meetings, conferences, online events, and made sure that the voice of people with learning disability in our area is heard loud and clear. In July, we did some research, took part in some research with the Open University, which was looking at the impact of self-advocacy groups in the pandemic. And that led to a report called Filling the Gaps, which was released in November last year. It's worth Googling if you want to have a look at that. And that shows how self-advocacy groups like ours and others around the country had reacted very, very well and very fast to the virus, and had a big impact on people's mental health, but also their physical health as well. Making easy read information for people, interpreting the government guidance, which at one point seemed to change every week, as I'm sure you all remember. Self-advocacy groups were doing that better than the government was doing it, although they should have been doing it themselves, and we were doing it with no funding, with no backup at all. It's a really good report, that Filling the Gaps it's called, if you want to look that up. So our Zoom groups have been really important to people. They're helping them feel connected, helping people to understand what's going on, helping people to express how they're feeling, and helping people to have some fun in what have been pretty stressful times over the last year. People have told us that they see our groups as a lifeline. People have said it's the highlight of their week. And for me personally, they've helped me to stay well and connected, and to do my work and feel like I'm making a difference. So as the summer rolled on, we thought we were coming out of it. Autumn was coming. It looked like we might start to get back to seeing people face to face, but how wrong that was, as we now know. So as we approached into later autumn and Christmas, we realised there was a lot more Zoom to come. In November, we did 5 sessions over 5 days as part of an event called the Big Health Week, which was with a few other London boroughs. And after being part of that, we realised one of the things we were missing was a bit of fun, a bit like Dance Syndrome, in our online groups, because they could be a bit serious. So we started a Friday afternoon music group. No real talking about politics or campaigning. It was just about listening to music and having a dance and having fun. And that's been our most popular group so far. It's made us rethink about how we want to work when this is over. And we're going to look at doing things perhaps a bit more informally with people, having a drop-in session maybe that isn't so organised. So we're learning from that. And because this was going on, and look, we were heading for another lockdown after Christmas by the looks of it, we decided to commission a report. We asked people to write us a report into digital exclusion to help us plan what to do in the future, and that was published recently. And I'm just trying to do 2 things at once here, because I'm going to copy that link and pop it in the chat, which hopefully is in there now. So if you want to have a look at that report, please do. You can tell me in a second if the link works or not. That report looks at the challenges around people getting online and some of the positives too. We will probably carry on doing an online service as a result of the coronavirus pandemic. But it's also really important that we work with people to deal with this digital divide, as it's called. So people are not as online as they should be. And as the pandemic eases, we need to support people with learning disabilities to be more involved in the future. One of the examples of why that's so important is because of the pandemic and the cuts that have been going on from the government. Our local council is going to be moving more and more stuff online. So we think there's an opportunity there to improve people's ability to get online and use devices and computers, so they're not left behind. We've talked about people, perhaps being left behind in other areas of life, and it's really important that they're not left behind in this new one. We also think it's really important that we look at the affordability of data, how cheap or expensive it is to have an internet connection and to have that fast data to be doing video calls and so on. We think that needs to be looked at a national level. Excuse me. So we continue to offer digital services, including self-advocacy stuff, hate crime work, training with professionals, with schools when they have gone back, which they have now, with people with learning disability. So just in this first part of this year, from January to March, in those first 3 months, we did 50 self-advocacy groups, attended by over 80 people, and that was 1,000 people attending different groups, 1,000 attendances in 3 months. So it's a big part of what we do now, and that's not including the hate crime stuff and the one-to-one advocacy meetings that we do. So it's been quite a journey over the last year. We're still learning very much. We far from have all the answers. We definitely don't have all the answers. Getting online is a challenge that we're still working on a year later. Even with some individual people, we were trying to get them online back in March and April last year, and we're still trying to get them online now. So it's not always been easy. And that's what I want to end on, really. Although we're proud of what we've done, and we think we've done a good job over the last year, we're aware that there are many people still left out. So there's plenty of work for us still to do. And we're looking forward to working on that, hopefully a bit more face-to-face when we come out of things over the next couple of months. So I can see we've only got a few minutes left, so I'm going to stop there and hand back to Neil, I think, and see if anyone has any questions or any comments they want to share.
Hi, there are no questions come through yet, but Helen, I'm sure you'll have a few questions.
Always, Neil. But before we've got any questions, I did wonder whether Lloyd wanted to come on screen with Heidi and just say a few words.
Let me go find Lloyd. 2 seconds, and I'll invite Lloyd.
Lloyd has been to lots of our Zoom groups over the past year.
There you go. So Lloyd, you should receive an invitation to join as a panelist. Give that a few minutes.
So before Lloyd joins us, I'm just full of questions that I can't ask because nobody'd have the answers, because I need to sort of make the questions that more pertinent for everything. There's a question just come through, I think, from Sarah Offley. Do you think that the national networks will be able to resurrect using online in the future? Just tell me what you mean a bit more by that, Sarah, because I'm unsure slightly what you mean. The thing that I'm buzzing with relates to sort of that digital inclusion and that digital exclusion. Now, I live in Lincolnshire, which we're well known for our sausages and the red arrows and our very poor internet connection. I live in the middle of nowhere. There's no street lights. I live in a nice house. I don't want you to think I live in a tent, or even though living in a tent is very good at times. And I complain about my internet. And at the start of the internet, at the start of the pandemic, I did once drive to a local university to piggyback off their EduRoam to actually teach a session, but had the wherewithal to be able to go and get a booster for my internet. And then of course I always know a man that can, Neil, who can help me with those sorts of issues that I'm not really quite sure. I hadn't, to my shame and embarrassment, I'd not thought about digital exclusion for people. So that's definitely something I'm going to talk about widely. Now, are you there? Oh, wait a minute, Sarah. The National Forum lost funding now with online, so no need for huge funding, and groups could join easily together. Voices of self-advocates heard at government level. I will take that message forward for you, as I'm sure will Marsh, as I'm sure will Steve, and we'll see what we can do. Lloyd, sorry, go on.
I think that's more likely now. In response to Sarah's question, we've been working a lot with guys up in Sunderland and the Northwest, and I know that Brighton and Hove Speak Out have now got money from the National Lottery to start a Learning Disability Voices network across the Southeast, including London. So we're hoping that using Zoom, these kind of things will become easier. I know the Northeast and the Northwest are fairly well connected, so if we can get something going in the Southeast, we're kind of 3/4 of the way there to bringing a national voice together. So I think it's not quite there, Sarah, but it's closer than it was before the pandemic, I think. So yeah, you say it's coming together in the West Midlands. It would be fantastic to get everybody together. I think an aim would be some kind of national conference at the end of this period, which would be great.
That's fabulous, thank you. So I know we've not got a lot of time left, and people have got lots of things that they want to think about, and I know you've got something you want to say in a minute, Steve. But one of the things that I'm left with as well for today is about, and it links in again to that digital inclusion, is who have been the digital heroes for us across the pandemic, who have gone above and beyond. And if you want to put in the chat who your shout outs are to your digital heroes, two for me to start off with are Rachel Wright, or three really, Rachel Wright and Sarah Clayton from Simple Stuff Works and the stuff that they've been doing with parents. But my biggest digital hero for digital inclusion has got to be a young man who is 18 called DJJ, who is an independent DJ who is a larger than life character, and every weekend throughout the whole of lockdown for a whole year, at no cost to anybody, he has held signing and rhyming dance discos for little people, and also a big disco where, as if you were at Butlins, at the seaside, having fun. So he's my hero. Anybody else got any heroes? Let's have a look.
Oh, yep. Can I say Marsh and Will from Lewisham speaking up, because Peter asked me to say thank you for his tablet and also setting up the Wi-Fi.
Yeah,
so it's really great.
Welcome. More than welcome.
I think Lloyd's got someone.
Hi
there, Lloyd.
Hi, Neil.
Hi, Lloyd.
Hi, Helen.
Hello,
you all right?
Lloyd.
Yes,
Hi.
thank you.
All right, Steve. All right, Steve. Right, Marsh.
Yeah, hello, Lloyd.
You all right, mate?
Yeah, good, thanks.
I belong to a group up at Norfolk and Suffolk and Essex Trust. I'm a green light champion for Sue Bridges' team.
You do a great job there.
You're part of the Keep Holding On crew, Lloyd. I don't know why you've got my name against you. You actually, have you seen that, Lloyd? You've got my name again, because we were just talking before this forum, weren't we?
Yeah.
That's what's confused me all lunchtime, Heidi. But the other thing, Lloyd, that you never put down as one of your great attributes is that you're a far better joke teller than Jim Blair.
Oh, thank you, Helen. Shall I tell you one now? Shall I tell
Yes,
you one now?
please. Yes,
Tell you one
please.
now. Why was 6 scared of 7?
I don't know. Why was 6 scared to 7?
Because 7 ate 9.
Ah, I'll tell you one that's a bit slightly rude, Lloyd, that came from World Down Syndrome Week from a little girl called Cara, who has got Down syndrome. She's 7, and she rang me up to tell me this joke. So knock knock.
Who's there?
Europe.
Europe who?
I know Europe who. And on that note, on that note, Nia, shall we start to wind ourselves up?
Yeah.
Helen.
Yes, Lloyd.
And I'm also a member of Marsh's group up at Lewisham with the music group.
Wow, you get around everywhere, don't you?
Yeah, oh yeah.
And I was thinking one of the first times I met you, Lloyd, was we went to a very posh dinner dance in Birmingham, didn't we?
Oh, that was at Care Talk, wasn't it?
That's right, yeah.
Oh, I remember, yeah.
Yeah, good fun. Right, okay, so I'll mute myself, you mute yourself, Lloyd, and we'll hand back to you, Neil, for a minute.
Thank you, everyone. Firstly, thank you so much for another fantastic Positive Choices Lunch, Learn and Celebrate. This really was a fantastic kind of way to celebrate the amazing stuff that Dance Syndrome are doing, as well as Lewisham Speak Up. So absolute pleasure to host. This event has been recorded and it will be shared on Positive Choices Facebook page. And Helen, do you want to do a quick plug for the next date, which is the 6th of May?
Yeah, so before we do that quick plug, at the end of the last session, I was supposed to open a YouTube channel, which I haven't done yet. I'm very sorry. I am a digital immigrant rather than a digital native, but I promised that I've written it down on my pad, do this in capital letters, so I will do that. So on, Steve, help me out, May the 6th.
We got Jimmy or James Ridley. He's going to talk about the reducing restrictive practice standards.
That's right.
So really looking forward to that.
Yeah, and that fits in beautifully with what you were saying, Marsh, in terms of Winterbourne View being 10 years ago and also Wharton Hall being over that year ago. But it's also about us being able to celebrate the fact that we as learning disability nurses absolutely have 2 mantras where it's concerned. So the first is not on my watch. And as I tell every student nurse that I come in contact with, that the care that you walk past is the care that you are deeming is appropriate. Yes. So remember that when you're walking past something that's highly inappropriate. It wasn't me that came up with the phrase, but hey, it was Ross that did, but that's brilliant. So thank you so much, everybody, and stay safe. Enjoy being outside a bit more. But yeah, really stay safe. It's more important now to stay safe than ever. Okay.
Helen, a quick message to Steve.
Yes, go on then, Lloyd.
Yeah,
Steve,
3 o'clock tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Yeah, cool. See you tomorrow.
All right. Lots of love, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, Mark. See ya.
See you tomorrow, Lloyd.
See you tomorrow.